So another setup and things changed a little bit is when we have, let's say we are playing against this guy and he knows that I'm not staying here. I'm not playing my guard with my back flat. It's completely wrong. And I'm sending him to that direction. So he's losing the balance. The work that Fernando wants to do, and it's very important to teach you guys, is he wants to walk to that direction. The more he walks to his back, the more he creates this connection with my hooks. Just by walking, opening his compass, I'm already losing my hooks. Even if I try, keep my back flat and my hooks tied when he walks, you don't need to use your hand, just walk, yeah. So it's gonna be, he's gonna find a point where my hooks cannot be tied anymore. If he keeps walking, he's just shaking the body, I'm gonna lose my control. So it's extremely important you guys understand that once you guys are here, you guys wanna work to your opponent's head side, not butt side. So if he walks backwards, you guys are done, right? So you guys have to readjust your body, you guys have to use ways to counter, which we're gonna see on the next caption. But that is what you guys have to do, dragging him to this direction, head side. Second posture that he can assume, instead of walking backwards, is post the back knee on the mat. And normally it happens because he knows that I want to off-balance him. I want to place my body side on. So what Fernando does, he posts the back knee on the mat and he posts hand out there. So right here, what happens? When I turn my body side on, it's not uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's not as good as when I'm flat because it's hard to bring this knee towards here. So the more I turn my body side on, the more I push him away, which is not wrong depending on the way you want to finish the situation, but it's hard to keep a good control and smooth control. So when I point this knee towards Fernando's body, so I'm sending him away, right? And it means if I'm sending him away, it's going to be hard to grab something. I have long arms and long legs, of course, but even having long arms, it's hard to grab something right now. So when he posts the outside knee on the mat, you can just post outside knee. Yeah, it's easy for me keep my back flat with this configuration. Why? Because from here it's very difficult for Fernando be effective enough because his outside knee is on the mat. It's very hard for him be effective and fast enough to jump over my back knee. So you guys know that if he just walks backward, keep walking, he's gonna find a way where there is this connection here and I cannot play my X guard anymore. But at the same time, it takes way more time for him walk backwards because his knee is on the mat. So I can always keep my back flat for this position and I have to play a trick here about bump him forward and lean backwards, bump him forward and lean backwards. So how I do this, I bump, and I get my sit-up guard here. Normally from these situations, you guys gonna have access to sleeve, collar, and sometimes the far control if he brings his hand closer. It's always gonna be easy for you guys lean back and keep a good control. My hip is pretty much under his hips, is not as tight and aligned from when we are playing the X guard, but here we have some pretty solid position. Also, this type of grip that you use, ankle lock, pants, or either wrap leg like here, those three setups, they're pretty comfortable to play, and the setup is the same, right? So the setup doesn't change the way I use my body from bottom. So if I feel Fernando is applying too much pressure, or if he is walking to different sides to find his way, I bump, I'd sit up, and then readjust again. I bring my knees towards my chest and I make things tight. If I don't want to use, if I don't want to wrap the leg, I just pass my arm through, and here we have the ankle lock, which in my opinion is the best one, and we are ready to play. So if he tries walk to that direction, what are we gonna do? We bump, we sit up, and we lean back again. So we have to be always active, bumping forward, finding some sit up. Can you just turn a little bit? Yeah, perfect. Sometimes we don't need even sit up. When he starts walking, we just extend legs and we pull him back. So we have to be active of balancing him because his foot is outside the mats. Once his foot is solid on the mat, this one, and he's walking backwards, so things start to be terrible for me. So I have to move quick, but it's not a hard movement because my body is well placed. So I just extend my legs a little bit, sitting up, bumping, shaking my legs, and then I'm always gonna reach this situation. Other thing that you guys can do that is very easy from here. So if you guys see he's doing a good job closing the space and pinning this knee on your chest like here, and you see and you feel, fuck, I'm starting to get too tight here, it's being hard for me. He's doing a good job on top. He knows how to kill and avoid X guard. So what I do, I bump him again, I force his knee on the mat outside, and then I make a transition from far hip to near hip. So the near hip control, when I step here, I use this type of hook. It doesn't work when Fernando is away because I have to feel the pressure about his hip to make this hook tight. But it works very well to counter situations where he wants to apply pressure. The more he tries to apply pressure here, it's pretty much impossible because my knees are right on my chest. I just send him forward, bumping a little bit. Look at my body side on. We have some very good setup here. So I don't need to keep him away. So we can play this dilemma about far hip and near hip. And once I feel I'm in a comfortable spot, I kick my legs forward, I sit up, I switch for a traditional X guard, and I lean back again. Why? Because right now I'm ready to play with sleeves and do my work. If necessary, if I want to spend more time here in the X guard, it's fine, right? So we have this tricky about near hip and far hip. Another setup that you guys have to know about here is that even if Fernando postures up and he tries, not postures up, knees outside, yeah. If he tries find this posture, if you guys are flat, completely flat like here, so he has his legs strong on the mat, he can posture. So maybe this is why it's so hard for you guys play X guard. When I adjust my hip just a little bit, look at the small movement I'm gonna do and how strongly I'm changing his upper body posture. It's hard for him to stay upright out there. So I have just to turn my body a little bit and we have this control, right? So let's say that right now, another hypothetical situation, Fernando is walking super well backwards and I feel I'm losing my hip. I'm trying to follow him, but I'm losing. So what I do, I just bring my hook outside and I step Ashigarami right here. So what this setup creates a very strong and good connection to bring my back flat on the mat. And right now when Fernando tries to walk back, it's very difficult. If he walks, you can keep walking, he's gonna carry my body weight because this knee is pointing to the ceiling. He's completely attached. So once I feel he stopped walking because I counter well, or he was walking and I got countered doing the way, I set up my body, I bring my back flat on the mat, and I have this solid setup. What we can do, near hip or either far hip, we still having some good X guard setup, and we counter, just like this, and we counter his way to escape from this type of X guard when he has his outside knee on the mats. So, quick review about this thing, situation outside knee. So when he pulls outside knee, I'm not completely side on. I'm kind of like 45 degrees, halfway to turn my body side on. Far hip is when I'm doing a good control about his posture. So I'm getting him close to the mats. I'm bringing his head position and his posture down. So near hip is when he's doing a good job pinching everything. He's applying too much pressure. So what I should do, sit up, bump forward, turn my body side down, find my way to bring my hook to the near hip. And once I feel he's doing a good job walking backwards, maybe pinning the knees, applying pressure, and escaping from my X guard, I switch my X guard to a single X. I point my knee to the ceiling. I bring my back flat on the mats. And then I get to build some solid and a strong posture on bottom, which means that if he walks around, he's just carrying my weight. So we can always play around in between those three setups from this inside this situation when he has his knee, his outside knee on the mat, which is very important for me. Know about all those three setups, because this is what he can do on top, and that is my responsibility. Always break his posture, always make him busy finding balance on top. So the last setup that we are looking right now in this caption is single X, right? Single X, in my opinion, is something that is really hard for you guys maintain control for too long, because you guys have your whole body against one leg of your opponents. It's not bad, right? But it's more a quick transition. And normally when I'm teaching X guard and single X, I normally teach quick transitions to this situation where we have tripod sweeps, ankle sweeps, double trouble. We have pen sweeps. We have quick actions to off balance the opponent and move forward until we reach X guard, the traditional one. When you're controlling the far hip, either near hip, it's fine. But we have our legs, our body wrapping the two legs of our opponent. But at the same time, you guys have to know how to use the body in this situation, because it's part of this business. So we are here. Ashigarami is this setup, right? So it's very hard for me to maintain Fernando here in this position, because I'm not forcing his hands on the mat. I cannot keep him with his hands on the mat. Or either I have Ashigarami, or either I have his hands on the mat. This is the main point. So Ashigarami is when he has his single X. Is when he has his posture super upright, straight up, super straight up. And I cannot break his posture. Maybe I can make transitions straight to X guard and off balance him. But let's say that he's doing a good job, and we are on the way to get the X guard, and he's out there. So how can I set up my body in a way that I'm not too vulnerable to his attacks here? Because I'm just controlling half of his lower body. I don't either have some good control on the upper body, sleeve or collar. So it means his body is 75% free to work, and I'm fighting against only 25% of his body. It's not wrong, but this is why we have to be fast here. We have to work quickly to reach some better scenario to control him. So how we set up the Ashigarami? So if my back's flat on the mat, my hips touching the mat, so I